Hello and welcome to my office. So for those of you who have never joined me before, welcome. To those of you who've listened to my videos previously, thanks for coming back. Today I wanted to do a video of something that I promised I would do, which is on interviewing virtually. Because of our current landscape, a lot of interviews are taking place over a video. And so I wanted to put together this video just to go over some tips and tricks on how to approach a virtual interview. So first and foremost, I want to start with the basics. Always do your research on the company that you're interviewing with. So that means going on their website, looking to see if they even have any information on their interview process. If you're in contact with HR or the recruiter and they may have some information, ask them what the process is like, what the environment is like, what the culture is like. Understand those different nuances because that can help you in articulating what you're going to say when you get on the interview. You also want to make sure that you do your research on who specifically you're interviewing on. So make sure you ask for those interview names in advance. I know some companies, they don't like giving out particular information of the first and last name of the interviewer, which is perfectly fine. Ask them about the team or the organization that they support to see if it may be some links online to tell you more about that organization. And then obviously, you want to read through that job description again as you're preparing for those interviews. That way, as you prepare for the answers that you may give to certain questions that may come across, that you can tie it back into that job description. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to candidates, and as a recruiter, I'm that first point of contact that seek them out after they apply for the position and they ask me questions that's on the job description, letting me know they didn't thoroughly read through it. Like, for example, they ask me, does a position travel? When they'll say on the job description, travel required. They'll ask me, is another language required? When the job description may say required. They'll ask me about what organization it supports, and sometimes that information may be on there too. And I've worked in recruiting for over 10 years now for multiple companies, multiple organizations, and I've always gotten that at least out of 1 to 2 people that I speak to every week, to where they're asking me questions that are on the job interview. That are on the job description. So just be very careful about that. It's good to get those hiccups out with the recruiter, but once you get in front of the actual hiring manager, you want to be careful with that. Other thing is making sure that you understand your own resume, because the same with the job description. I've had people to where they don't understand their own resume, and I'll ask them about a question. Okay, what did you do at XYZ company when you were the project manager? What exactly was that project? And they won't know what I'm talking about. And so that just shows me that, if you don't know yourself, how much of this are you being honest about on this resume, or did you just fluff just to get this job interview? And how much will you really understand the job? So make sure that you are properly prepared for that as well. Other thing to keep in mind is making sure that when you do these virtual interviews, that you're in a nice lit setting, making sure that the background is either empty or plain or at least clean and set up. It's so simple. You could pin a sheet to a wall. So let's say you're doing your interview in front of a wall and you probably don't want them to see all the different pictures that you have on the wall. Take some thumbtacks, pin up a sheet real quick, put in the background. Just make sure it's a plain sheet. Don't pin up a plaid sheet, polka dot sheet, floral sheet, none of that. But just pin up a quick little sheet in the background or whatever you have and put it up there so it looks clean and plain. Make sure it's either a light color, like a good color is like a blue color is good. You can even do just like a plain black background. Just make it simple. That way you stand out on camera. And then speaking of the colors in the background, make sure you're wearing a solid color. So like me right now, I have on a solid a dress underneath this, but then I have this floral print. Now, this could possibly be okay, depending on who you're interviewing with. Maybe you want to bring your personality, show how you are and how you fit in culturally. Some people, they're comfortable with that. But if you are in a more conservative interview where the team is more conservative, then I would consider removing this top and just be in the plain, the plain setting. Maybe you want to throw on a nice plain blouse for men. If you want to throw on a nice jacket with a tie, maybe you don't need the tie. Just keep in mind and do your research on that company and the company's culture so you can understand exactly how it is you should approach your setting in the interview. Now, don't get this misunderstood. Don't change who you are just to fit in, but make sure that you're showing them that, I'm someone that you can see working alongside you because I already embody some of the characteristics that are currently in your company culture. So you can still bring your personality, bring your little flair. Try not to wear a whole bunch of thick jewelry or a lot of makeup or too bold of eyeshadow and in different colors. You want to tone that down. For men, make sure you're cleanly shaven. I'm not saying you have to cut off your whole beard and mustache, and I know a lot of men don't like doing that because then you look like a young baby. But just make sure it's nicely trimmed, tamed. Your hair is edged up. If you have longer hair, that's fine. Look up the company culture yet again. I know some company cultures, they don't want your hair touching by your shoulder, or they might not want it below your ear. I have recruited for organizations like that. So make sure your hair is properly tailored. It's either slicked back, it looks clean. They're able to see your eyes. Even for me right now, doing this video, I have this hair in my eye. I'll probably remove that for the video and make sure it's pulled back so they can clearly see me and who I am. And nothing is distracting them in the way of making eye contact. So make sure you do that as well. Another thing to keep in mind, if you look at this current video that I have, you see that my head isn't cut off. You're able to see me like at a good height. My eyes are approximately right in the middle of the video, which is great. And another key thing to keep in mind, I'm gonna show you a trick because I've been doing this almost the whole video. If you're doing a virtual interview, let's say on your phone, then don't look directly at your phone when you're doing the interview. Look at the camera. You see the difference? If you look to the corner of where the actual camera lens is, it'll give you more direct eye contact with who you're speaking with. So even if you're on the laptop, don't look directly at the screen. Look into the actual camera lens because your eyes will be more gauged on the screen to the person you're interviewing with. And then depending on what you're doing, if you're doing a virtual interview, maybe you have to do a demonstration, a presentation, share a PowerPoint. Get creative. Like how you can see in the background with mine, I have a blank wall back here. But if you wanted to, you could stick like a whiteboard right here in the background. Maybe you have to do some whiteboarding for your interview. So you shift yourself to the side, you can have the whiteboard, you can demonstrate how you would draw things on the whiteboard. Or maybe you want to get creative and you have, your PowerPoint and you do demos within the PowerPoint. Make it unique to you, but always keep it professional and keep it tailored to your audience. And speaking of audience, if you are giving presentations during a virtual interview, before you start, make sure you understand who your audience is. And I say that because sometimes, let's say you're doing an interview to be a teacher or just to be in front of clients. Well, you want to know who your clients are. And if you're on a panel interview with a whole bunch of interviewers, you want to know, are they viewing your presentation as an interviewer? Or are they trying to view your presentation as if they're the actual client? You won't know unless you ask. So get a gauge of the room you're presenting to. Hi, my name is Carrie Harris. I am XYZ, and I'm here to present this, that to you. And then I would like to get a gauge of who's in the room. So if everyone can go around and introduce themselves, treat it as if you're actually in that environment and understand who your audience is. That way you can better tie back into your content, back into what you're presenting. And another thing too, it'll show the interviewers how you actually look in that setting and how you present so they can be able to trust you to go out in front of their clients and present necessary information. Maybe you're trying to get a client to buy into something. Whatever it is, you want to be able to earn their trust. Other thing with the virtual interviews, make sure your sound quality is good. If you look at my ears right now, I have an AirPods. If you don't have AirPods or you have some kind of ear device. Maybe you have like a headset. So if you're using your laptop, don't talk directly through your laptop. You can get a quick headset. You can buy quick headsets for under $20 online. Or maybe if you have a microphone. So, I mean, this is a podcast microphone. You don't need all of this. But if you have a microphone, you can plug something like this to your computer. So if you do listen through your computer, make sure you're speaking through a good microphone to where they can hear you clearly. Again, this was on Amazon. I believe I got this. It was definitely under $30. So it wasn't that much. And a lot of times they're on discount. And you don't even have to get a microphone like this. I saw the little lapel microphones, I think for like $15, $16 on Amazon as well. And then, like I said, I use my AirPods because you could tell the difference in the sound quality, because it's as if I'm talking through my phone and having a conversation, so it mutes out any other background noise. And I'm gonna show you the difference. If I was to take these out of my ear, and hopefully this is working and it's not still trying to record me. So I just took the AirPods out of my ear, and I'm sure the sound quality changed a bit to where you're probably hearing an echo in the background. You wanna make sure that you reduce that as much as possible, and that's the beauty of having the actual AirPods. Or like I said, make sure I get it back in my ear. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. But even if you don't have AirPods, any kind of ear device that you have that you can speak through a microphone and listen to, try to use those. And then lastly, with your virtual interviews, making sure that you log on early. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to log on, understand the application, even if you want to try it out with a family member, a friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever. Let someone do a mock interview with you. Make sure you understand how to get onto the application, how to dial in, set up a presentation or a demo if you're doing it, set up your camera, set up your microphone, even have them go to another room. A lot of people use Zoom calls, so everyone has Zoom. There's also other devices out there. I know Amazon has Amazon Chime. You have the Google as well, but just make sure you're practicing with someone with your camera angle, the lighting. Another thing I want to show you. I know you probably see these little circles in my eye. Yeah, I wear glasses. I'm sorry. That's going to happen until I figure out otherwise. But this light, I believe this light cost me about $20, $25, $30 online. Quick LED light. It has different settings. See that? It can get brighter. It could change from warm to brighter, medium. You could turn it up. You could turn it down. And you see the difference? No light, a little bit of light. Invest in some lighting. If you know you're gonna do a lot of virtual interviews, just invest in some quick lighting. If you have kids, they'll have fun playing with it. A lot of kids watch YouTube nowadays and think they're a YouTuber. Let them have the light, do some little recording. Plus, a lot of us are locked in the house nowadays anyway, so it'll give them something to do to get you some free time so you can prepare for your interview. But other than that, man, I feel like I advertise a lot of products between the microphone and the headset and the light. I should start getting paid for these things. Maybe next time. But definitely make sure you prepare properly for your virtual interview. And as always, once your interview is over, make sure you follow up with a thank you note. Get the names of everybody that's on your interview. Usually the names will pop up on that virtual call, so you can get their first and last names and write them all a thank you note. Take note of who you're speaking to. Don't be nervous. Know that if they chose you to even move you to that step to interview you, you have what it takes. Bring your best self. Know that you got this. Know you are worth the opportunity. Don't take away from yourself. That's why it's so important to be in a calm and quiet setting. Meditate if you need to before. I know I'm a huge believer in God. Like, I am God all day. So I pray, I meditate, I set the atmosphere, I pray for the interviewers that's going to be in the room prior to me coming, hoping that they receive everything that I say. But do what you need to do to get comfortable, get those nerves out, and know that you got this. You got this. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope this video was helpful. And until next time, you all be blessed.